The lesson today is called Thieves of Heaven. What must we do to go to heaven? Give up everything of this world. Give up all your possessions. Say, what? In this age of owning everything and owing for everything, this would be an abomination, an unbelievable thought. This is why the Christ is so upset and concerned when he sees children putting themselves before all else in the world with the narcissistic creation of the selfie. They will never know, understand, or be able to appreciate the order of the true world if they think they come first throughout the ages. Of course, a 5-year-old knows they come first, because everyone tells a 5-year-old that you are the center of the universe. But at age 10, they know that they are not the center of the universe. And also, at age 15, they know they are not the center of the universe. And also age 25. But yet, with the selfie, they think they are. As I spoke of earlier in the week, people are dying for narcissism, to put themselves before God's most spectacular creations, because these people must be primary in the picture. They stupidly, narcissistically fall to their deaths. God is first, always. You won't find your way to heaven unless you find that camel and that needle, nor will anyone from the false prophets, for it can't be bought. But it can be earned through service to others, and it can be found through the love of Christ. The first step: honor his laws, respect his code. Love isn't ever found or learned from mindlessly staring at a screen, or putting themselves in front of everyone, becoming a bully or a bitch, putting down others, or saying how great they are. This is not love. This is not Christ. This is not Christian. The followers of false prophets, those fake churches, those evangelicals who put down others, those that preach hate, and those other antichrists, they say these things and do these things. Christ doesn't, ever. His followers don't, except in very weak human moments, and then they immediately apologize, admitting their fault to the individual, and repent. Nor do Christ's ministers ask for money as a means of gauging your interests. But this is how Christ explicitly denounced the false godless creatures of his time and called them false prophets. And I denounce the false godless creatures of this time, the antichrists each one, and none preaches from a Christian Bible, but abominations they have each created to specifically support their evil. Because when you remove 63% of all scriptures and restructure the remainder to your needs, everything taken out of context, now everything has alternative meanings. 3 even have the Lord speaking in innuendo. That is not Christ. And these antichrists, these false godless creatures I've named before, but here I will name them again in order of their godlessness. Joel Osteen, Jesse Duplantis, Kenneth Copeland, Pat Robertson, Credo Dollar, Green Life Church, Jerry Falwell, and Brian Houston. To reach heaven, follow Jesus Christ and love one another. You do not buy your way into heaven. You give up all the goods these evil have accumulated and stolen from their churches, each living in such tremendous luxury, and none providing more than 1% of all the total donated funds of charity ever. The tax code should not allow such thefts, and should not allow flim-flam artists to simply state, "I am a church," and therefore receives all exorbitant income tax-free. These are nothing better than modern-day snake oil salesmen selling false relief and promises on the roadside and picking up stakes before anyone realizes it's simply pure grain alcohol. These are pretending to sell heaven, but it is merely false promises of an empty grave that they are receiving. You can act against this evil if you hear the call. You can always act when you hear the call here. Write, call, tweet, Facebook your legislator and congressional representatives to tell them you don't want false promises of heaven to be sold on TV any longer. And anyone making these claims should lose their tax-exempt status as a church, retroactive to their first tax filing, with all penalties intact. No one should ever be allowed to steal from poor folks and enrich themselves on the promise of heaven to others. Though the ones making the promises will suffer Gehenna eternally, there should be penalties and sufferings in this life, in this world, for all the pain they cause to the troubled poor souls, turning to them for comfort, and instead receiving short shrift and a false promise of nothing at a high price of their life savings.